Previously on Birth Stories.
See, I don't quite really like baby yet. They're cute though.
To give up on our dreams of being artists would be a bit of a lie in a way.
I'm just so worried if he has your hair and my eyes.
That is a perfect Guinness. It'll be a funky little lifestyle for him, for sure.
Still feel the weight over your first and second toe on the left foot. If it lifts, that's okay, but just not extra. Wonderful. Good. Excellent. Okay, you want to do a little inner thigh stretch? I have to watch that baby doesn't pop out every time I go back, but it feels pretty good still to do this.
Julia is a dancer and Pilates instructor. She and her husband Garrett are expecting their first child in 3 weeks, but she's planning on giving one more performance before the baby comes.
It does concern me at times. I don't want her to push herself. Julia's really driven. Like, she's an incredibly hard worker, and it's absolutely against her nature to rest.
Garrett used to get nervous at the beginning because I was doing so much demonstrating, and like the whole thing with Pilates is that you engage your abdominals to help your back. So I was engaging my abdominals a lot, and you could really see the baby go from here to, way back. And he was very nervous about that.
That's going to be a challenge for her to find a balance between keeping herself active and energetic, but not exhausting herself. She's working right up until the week before the due date.
It's kind of reassuring to know you can still do a few things.
250, 4 Heineken, 3 Becks, 3 kegs Rickard's Red, and 4 kegs of Carling. I have to fit these phone calls in when His Majesty is sleeping for 2.5 hours in between feeding. Oh yeah, absolutely. You're very selective about your time and who you spend it with and how you spend it. You have to get things done very fast, and you don't have time for idle chatter.
1-month-old Jackson is the new highlight at the Cameron House, a downtown bar run by Cindy and husband Jack.
Proper ID required. What are we gonna do? I don't think you have your proper ID yet. Everybody says to you, oh, you won't even believe what it's like, and you can't. Just all you did was feed, and he slept, and then you'd feed him again, and you just thought, my life is over. But then you look at him, and then you don't care that your life is over. Look how big and blue your eyes are. You look just like Jack. I got ripped off.
No, I think we're gonna have to go down front. Swimming. Here we go.
Heather, Philip, and the kids are shopping for an inflatable pool. They're planning to all climb in when Heather gives birth in a few weeks.
Pools.
Already a mother of 4, Heather's opting this time for a birth with a twist.
We're going to have it pumped up before she goes into
labor.
the labor.
We're having water birth in the pool at home, so.
Really?
Yeah, so.
Wow.
We're going to.
That's some deep stuff. Yeah.
No. Who are we going to have in the pool?
Baby.
Mm-hmm. Who else? Who's going to be in the water?
And me and sisters.
Yeah?
And Daddy and you.
So what about you, Kelsey? Have you decided if you're going to get in the water yet or not?
No.
How come?
You're not going to, or you haven't decided?
Oh no, I'm scared.
Why?
Scared?
I'd be in the water if you weren't in there.
You would? Okay.
It was very shocking. It's all consuming. And, all the parents we talked to say that after a couple of months it gets easier. Jack's mom's here, so we don't want her to ever leave. You can never go back to Calgary.
You think that you're going to have time to do everything that you need to do, right? You just think you are, because, he's going to sleep for 3 hours here, and I can do this, that, and the other thing. But then that doesn't take into account the changing, the rocking, the walking, the going insane, the calming oneself down.
And you need help, you know? This is the one time in your life you have to, no matter how strong and how you think you can do everything, you have to just, you have to go, help. You know, you really learn fast who your friends are.
But he doesn't seem to mind the noise or the
No,
music,
he's-
he's fine with it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, not bad at all.
It was funny last night when we played at a 10th anniversary party. We just had to leave. He was just crying, and we'd done our set. And we were packing up, walking away, and Jack goes, we're never gonna be able to party again, are we?
Given the choice of staying at that party and getting loaded, or looking at his little face, you know, I'll take his little face any day
Yeah,
of
I
the week.
agree.
Dig in. There you go. All over. Get it so it doesn't stick.
Okay, try to get down, like down all over.
All right, guys.
Heather and Philip were married 3 years ago, and he's taken on her children as his own. This baby, though, will be his first.
I didn't want us to be married 30 years and him go, well, maybe we should have had one biologically. I didn't want him to regret not having his own. And he just, no, we've got 4 of our own. I think that's what made me love him even more.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Kelsey's doing a great job. But
I'm hoping that because of all our preparations that we've made, that they will bond with her more.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing it any other way.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. It's not like their lives are not going to be changed, because they are.
Like, they're part of this. I mean, it's like when we got married. I mean, they were part of that. It wasn't just me and you getting married. It was all of us becoming a family.
There we go.
Which one?
We're stuck on the towel.
So you take the towel with you.
Oh, I got it.
Oh my God.
Wow, eh?
You're big. I see. Oh, cool. See?
The baby's heartbeat still very strong, fairly stable.
Mike and Sumi have had an early morning wake-up call.
I just finished having a shower and Sumi came in and said, "Oh, the waters have burst." So I phoned the hospital and just said, "You know, the waters have burst and I'm going to bring her in now. Is that okay?" And they said, "Yeah, fine, bring her on up." So we stuck her in the car. By the time we got in the car, she was suffering from the first of the contractions, and so I just stuck the car outside the hospital and walked her up to the ward, and then went and parked the car afterwards. And as you can see, she's sort of having them roughly every 5 minutes at the moment. That's a little bit irregular. So we shall see.
Well, today we're playing at a country jamboree on Ward's Island. It was booked before Jackson was born, and I figured that we'd be okay a month after he was born. I think it'll be fine, because Heather's going to walk around in the stroller, and there'll be lots of kids there, so we can play chess with them or something. Changes everything. Even the first couple weeks, it seemed really long. I never left the house. Jackson. Yeah.
I'd like to have a special hand for the Cameron Family Singers because they brought their new baby Jackson with them. Yeah. The Cameron Family Singers, ladies and gentlemen.
Even though dancing is a little awkward for Julia now, she's determined to push her body to the limit. Her final performance is just days away.
I can't do everything. And I'm really slow, like my movement is really slow and my internal tempo is not slow. So I get frustrated with that. So that's really the main challenge, is just that I don't have the ability to move the way that I normally do. Although, I mean, it's not that I dislike the way that I move right now, because I don't, but it's just not exactly the same as the picture that I see in my head.
Mike have been pacing the hospital corridors for hours. Labor is going very slowly.
Where we thought it must be in here, actually. Do you want a drink? Can we try and get a drink? Ice and juice. Just get some. I think we'll take you back to the ward there. Sit you in the rocking chair, eh? It's a bit too much this morning.
So how many more days do we have before baby comes?
12.
12 more.
12 more days.
12 more. Unless the baby comes early between that. So what do you think the first thing you're going to do when you see her?
I'll give her hugs all the time, and I'll give her kisses just like this. Hello!
Right. Do you remember the song that you always sing her? Can you sing the song to her again today?
Our sunshine.
Will you sing it to her?
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when this goes away.
You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Maybe.
Please.
You're not even going to be paying attention. Here we go.
Oh.
My sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Sure sleeping good now.
You never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away.
Wow.
Did she okay?
She did. She knew. She likes that song. She likes when you sing it to her. Hopefully the head will come down because it's still very hot. He's an hour. And we increase it every 15 to half an hour.
Sumi's labor has all but
Until her
stopped.
contractions
Induction's not working.
Every
So the head is still very high, despite having the drip for 2 hours. She's had a good trial of labor, but the head is still extremely high. It's too high to deliver from below.
So it's a C-section?
It's a C-section, yeah. And they're just kind of getting the room ready, and then we're going to take her down there and top up her Amstead. You get to sit. They put up a drape like this, and you get to sit up by her head and chat to her while it's happening. She'll be wide awake.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, that'll be.
You're asking about the incision. The incision's about that big. It's in the hairline. If you wore a bikini before, you'll be able to wear one again. Okay. They heal actually very nicely.
Okay. Quick and sure, dear. That's the thing. Okay.
Good.
This is the night Julia's been practicing so hard for. Showtime. Though her due time is now only weeks away.
So how are you feeling, bud?
I'm not really nervous. I just going from zero nervousness to
a little bit of nervousness.
A little bit, just because I don't want to hurt myself. I'll be fine. I'll just chill out a little bit.
Well, the only thing that I worry about is that if you...
Alan lifts me over his head?
Yeah, well, besides Alan lifting you over his head. The only thing that I worry about is, dancing, sort of knowing that you can get through the dance, but you'll be sore tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you going into labor and being sore. I wouldn't want you to push it to a point where...
I won't.
Yeah. You're on top of it.
Well, unless I go into labor this week.
Right.
Which is possible, but unlikely.
Well, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm actually really happy. I didn't want to say anything, but I'm really happy you're performing.
So Mike, this is where you wait. Okay, I'm gonna show you where we cover your ears.
See you in a minute, darling.
Somebody want to get her husband, please? Sure, somebody needs to get the husband. Okay.
For Julia and the troupe, a last-minute warm-up before the show.
I'm feeling really good, and my body feels good when I'm moving. And I love this group of people, so it's fun to move with them. It's a pretty joyful event, joyful time.
The thing with Julia is that she has always been just an amazing, articulate and sensitive dancer and mover. She went from this incredibly long, light being to being just this grounded person, just ready to give birth at any point. We have to find our grounding to dance with Julia because she still has her uniqueness and her sensitivity and her articulateness, and yet it's here, it's so rooted into the earth.
It's been a long haul for Sumi, but it's finally over.
So, you're starting for
He's a big baby.
He's really good. He's a big boy. Big boy. He's going to take some pushing up and down. What a noisy one. One day you got in a lot of trouble, Ben.
All right, Dad, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Just about it out.
Ready? Hey.
Yes.
You see him? Boy size. That's your mum. That's your mum. He's quite an interesting mixture, actually. I think he's got my mouth and chin. Yes, he's got your mum's eyes as well. The top half is you, bottom half is me. That must have been a bit of a shock. 1 minute he was in there, enjoying a nice comfortable environment, and the next minute here he is. There's all these strange people around him. It's amazing.
When I was thinking about you tonight in the audience.
Were you?
I was. I suddenly became really concerned.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As a
But no, I always get terrified when she performs. And even more so now. Like, it just, just because it's so different. I don't get terrified, but I get really tense.
We're all terrified.
There's a caution. There's like a concern. Like for me, with you tonight, I felt a caution for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, and then we had that moment where you came in there, and I just thought I have to be careful, and I wouldn't normally. Hey, you know.
Here she is.
This is the first time they're seeing him?
That's right, yeah, they just arrived in the rain.
수고했어. 진짜 허다한 거야? 그래서 잘했어요. 얼마나 했으니?
엄마 애기 너무 크죠? 밑에 머리 잘 봐요. 나 혼자 걸려서 못 나왔어. 머리 개나 생겼어. 괜찮아. 다 다시 태는 거야.
아이고, 넌 안 들어고 엄마가 얼마나 고생을 했는지. 그림같이 이쁘다. 어쩌면 이렇게 이쁘냐. 괜찮아. 이거 봐.
Smile.
너도 애썼지만은 마이크 넘어야지.